Hey family, welcome to season 2, episode 5 of Danielle Inspires. People say time flies when you're having fun, but whether I'm having fun or not, time seems to be running down the street like I stole a pack of gum from the grocery store. I wholeheartedly try to embrace the moments of my life, and I hope you do too, trying to be mindful and grateful for each day. I could very well be at the midpoint of my life, so I care about the time that I have left. Since I'm not quite sure how much time that will be, I wonder whether I will accomplish all that is in my heart to achieve. Will I gain financial independence? Will I leave a legacy worthy of what God has invested in me? Will I positively impact nations with my words and deeds? Will I fulfill my potential? I don't fear dying as much as I fear dying unfulfilled and with regrets. Old age is difficult enough to manage without carrying a trunk full of regrets with us. Do you want to step into your 60s and 70s reflecting on how you wasted your time and potential? I don't. Today, I would love for you to take a long term view to the tail end of your life. If nothing about your life changes from now to the very end, what would you regret not having accomplished in your lifetime? Our topic for today is fulfilled and no regrets, how to make good decisions, coming up next. Before we get into today's juicy content, be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the alert button to be aware of new content as soon as it is released. I'm bringing you fresh content each and every month, and today is no exception. Now on to today's inspirational episode. Fulfillment is a tricky pursuit because what you wholeheartedly desire today can become the last thing on your mind 5 to 10 years from now. As the years pass by, time often brings a different perspective. You might see things differently than you did in the past. You might see more clearly. Hopefully, you understand yourself better while also becoming better. From experience, you know that items at a distance look different as you get closer. Yet the item hasn't physically changed. What has changed is your perspective. When we are at a distance, we use our imagination to kind of fill in the details we cannot see clearly. And sometimes as we get closer, the actual details look different than we imagined. Our ideas about what will bring us fulfillment are often good suggestions that make sense from our current point of view. But as time marches on, those ideas might not seem as grandiose as they did a few weeks, months, or years ago. Of course, it's easy for the magic to fade over time for some goals. We get weary in well doing, and when times are hard, we might contemplate quitting. Then there are those goals that people achieve and they appear to us to be successful and accomplished, but those people are still unfulfilled. Some of them feel worse about their lives than when they began their journey towards their perception of bliss. They thought achieving their goals would make them happy. I know you've heard of people who've became rich and famous in their chosen careers, and then at the height of their careers, they committed suicide or died from a drug overdose. Because our time is limited, we need to be careful about wasting time traveling toward dead ends. When you reach a dead end, there's nowhere to go other than to backtrack for a while until you can connect to more advantageous avenues of opportunities. We've all been in relationships and jobs that were dead ends. And sometimes, depending on how much we've invested in something that proved to be unfulfilling, We might stay married to our bad decisions instead of setting sail once more. I remember plugging a beach destination into the GPS and driving towards what I thought would be a sandy pathway leading to a gloriously blue ocean. Yet I ended up being taken across some railroad tracks on a rough side of town right to a dead end. Mistakes happen. We can take a wrong turn, but don't pitch your tent at a dead end. I made a U-turn. I traveled straight to the next major road, turned right, and found the beach within minutes. You can get lost and even take a scenic detour, but the destination you seek on your road to fulfillment should be fulfilling, not a dead end. It should not lead you to more heartache, more grief, more regrets. Our overarching goal is to stay connected to opportunities. We humans thrive in possibilities, and movement toward better keeps us energized and excited about living. Even death is a gateway to another dimension, but pitching your tent in a dead end situation invites many, many regrets into your life. Even if you're not a dreamer, even if you're not one who imagines better, the God in you who has infinite wisdom and abilities will always point you in the right direction and empower you to be more than you are right now. Because of God, we all have the potential to achieve fulfillment with no regrets. However, potential isn't enough by itself to bring about fulfillment. Fulfillment comes by acting on our potential. You might be in a bad situation right now, and you feel like circumstances are preventing you from excelling. Yet we are never without resources we need to achieve progress. The only true limitation we have that inhibits our progress is in our unwillingness to act on our potential. Philippians 4:13 says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. That verse is inspiring. It's encouraging for sure because it lets us know that the answer is yes. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. But will I? Will I do all things that will bring greater fulfillment and vanquish all regrets? Or will I just reduce my ambition to bragging about what I can do while not doing anything to be better and live better? Let's take a look at the definition for regret. Regret is to feel sad, repentant, or disappointed over something that has happened or been done, especially a loss or missed opportunity. We could spend today focusing on what you've lost over the years. We could talk about opportunities you've knowingly missed and those you don't even realize that you've missed. We could wallow in regrets like poor, unfortunate souls and then invite more sadness and self-pity into our lives. Or from here, at this dead end, in this land of missed opportunity, we can make amends for our transgressions, forgive others who wronged us, and start anew. Let's keep the past where it belongs, in the past, and treat today as a brand new day. We don't have to sprinkle the unpleasant and alarming issues from the past onto our outlook about today. Maybe you lost something or missed some opportunity over the past few years leading up to today. And if that's true for you, my diagnosis regarding your life is that you are indeed a powerful being. You, my friend, make stuff happen. Your decisions have power and have shaped your life up till now. Your decisions will continue to shape your life in the future. Every day is either a new day to maintain the status quo by your choices, or you could usher in a new golden era. In the past, you might have used your decision making power to live beneath your potential. Maybe you took a few wrong turns and ended up in the middle of nowhere. And unless something is physically holding you captive, you can make some different decisions and be somewhere totally different by this time next year. As long as you are the one making decisions which impact your life for better or worse, then you are powerful indeed. You might not feel powerful, but if you are living with regret and shame over losses and missed opportunities, then you know your choices have power. You have the power to do things differently. You can make better choices. So I need you to stop condemning yourself because of past missteps. Condemnation is a waste of time. Dwelling on the past is a waste of time. What's done is done. People rehash the past in their minds repeatedly as if they can change the past. For argument's sake, let's assume that you could go back in time and do things differently. What would you do differently? More importantly, I want you to think about the circumstances leading you to make those bad choices. Maybe you were lonely. Maybe you were desperate. Maybe you felt like you had no choice. But now you realize that you did have other options. Perhaps you were being impulsive and should have waited. I want you to use your power of choice to benefit your life. You're in the driver's seat. How fast you go, how slow you go, and where you go is up to you. Feel the cushion of the seat underneath you. Place your hand firmly on the steering wheel. Rev up that engine a little because I want you to hear the power you are about to wield, the power of choice. Because your choices have the power to improve your life or lead you to ruin, I want you to invest time in learning how to make good decisions. To get you started, I'm going to give you 3 life goals to work towards that will help you make good decisions. Know yourself. Humble yourself. Educate yourself. Knowing yourself requires cultivating an introspective lifestyle. There's a quiet space inside of you where you can really hear your heart's desire. The decisions you make need to come from that quiet place which exists beneath the consistent, superficial brain chatter happening up here. In that quiet space, there are no false expectations. There's nothing to protect, nothing to defend, and nothing to hide from. It's a safe place to commune with your heart and hear from God. As you practice communing with your authentic self and with the God who knows you better than you know yourself, you will begin to make decisions that align with your values and resonates with your soul. Humble yourself. I believe there's an emotional equilibrium that must be maintained to make level-headed decisions. If you are riding high on emotions, or when we're riding high on emotions, we often abandon sound reasoning. And when we are brought low into a funk, the result is the same. Those ups and downs throw us off balance, while humility keeps us grounded and level-headed. At times, your emotions will get the better of you. However, expressing gratitude will help to ground you. James 4:10 says, Humble yourself in the sight of the Lord, and he shall lift you up. When we bow our heads in gratitude, God lifts us up with his mighty right hand. It's a good idea to practice expressing gratitude daily or at any time when you feel emotionally off balance. Take a few minutes to meditate on 5 things you're grateful for and thank God for the presence of his goodness in your life. Educate yourself. You can and should learn wisdom from the wise. A good place to start is the book of Proverbs. Proverbs was written by King Solomon, someone God blessed with profound wisdom and wealth. Solomon is probably the wisest person who ever lived. And the book of Proverbs is truly a book of wisdom from which we can improve our decision-making ability. Proverbs 1:17 says, "The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction." The whole Bible is filled with God's wisdom and instruction. And it is foolish for us to depart from divine information that will empower us to make better choices. Knowing ourselves, humbling ourselves, and educating ourselves should be lifelong pursuits. And they are pursuits that will lead us to live fulfilled lives with no regrets. The power of choice is yours. Until next time, be bold, be great, and be inspired. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Danielle Inspires. If you haven't done so already, be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, hit the alert button so you are aware of new content as soon as it is released, and share this video with those you love. See you soon.